Hello and welcome to my channel and to another bookbinding stitch video. I haven't done one in a while, but I'm doing one today. This is how to bind a text block. So no covers, just binding the text block. And then you can either have it as an exposed spine or you can have it as a covered spine. So I've got 5 signatures and I've got 5 holes evenly spaced, but I don't really think it makes much difference if they're evenly spaced. And then I have a curved needle. It's easier to do this with a curved needle, but it's not impossible to do with a straight needle. It just makes life a little bit easier when you're doing the linking. And I've got a reasonable amount of thread, more than so I think I've kind of done sort of like that for each signature, but plus another extra one, so sort of 6-ish and a bit maybe. So I'm using the bookbinding slope. This is the A4 one from Janie's Originals. I just find it helps, and hopefully it will help me to be able to sort of just bring things up to show you. So I'm going to flip those 4 signatures over, and we'll start with the first signature. And we're going to go from the outside to the inside on this first hole. I mean, if we call them stations, I think Janie does on some of the things, just trying to make sure that with all this thread, you don't get too tangled up. Okay, so leave a reasonably good amount there. And then you're going to skip station 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to skip, 2, 3, and 4 and come out of station 5. Okay. I've got a lot of my thread doubled up, which is why it becomes a little bit tricky getting it through. So that's our first signature. We're going to bring our second signature in. And we're going to go, make sure I'm finding the center of it. We're going to go in through station 5 on signature 2. I've removed my signatures so my holes aren't lined up. Just bear with me a moment. I've gone through the wrong place. There we go, that's better. That'll do. Okay, so come through station 5. So this first touching 2 to 1 second signature, the first signature is the trickier bit of this. So we're going to go back out now of station 4 on signature 2 and come out here. Always take the time and check that things have pulled through, particularly when you've got doubled up thread. And my thread is particularly waxy, so it can get a little bit caught. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back in to station 4 on signature 1. Okay, so we went in station 1 on signature 1, we skipped those and came out of station 5 on signature 1, into station 5 on signature 2, out of station 4 on signature 2, back into station 4 on signature 1. Okay, now this is where I start getting a little bit, sometimes my thread doesn't pull particularly well and I end up pulling things straight. So now what I'm doing is I'm wrapping this thread around, so I'm basically putting my needle under that long stitch. Whoops, sorry, I've just hit the camera. Long stitch we made in the middle there. Okay, so that's wrapped around there. You can give your end a little bit of a tug to make sure this is kept nice and tight. And then you're going to go back out through station 4 of signature 1. Okay, try not to get your needle, this where have I gone the right way? I've got myself caught, that's why I've got that. Try not to so you're not pulling that little bit through. It can be hard if you've got it caught there. But what we don't want is to be pulling that through. I have done that previously, so you know it does happen. And then I'm going back in. Oops, I just hooked myself up. Back in to station 4 on signature 2. Okay. Right. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing now. Okay, so if you didn't quite get it there, I'm going out of station 3 on signature 2. Okay. Just make sure that's pulled nicely. I'm going to go back into station 3 on signature 1. This is where having this really helps because, you know, it's kind of being supported. You're not trying to hold it in thin air. Just making sure I'm pulling that through. Okay, so this might look a little loose. It's just because you've got this end. I'm going to do it exactly the same way. I'm going to hook my needle underneath that long stitch, and I'm going to pull. Just be careful because you've got so much thread. Now you see this one's gone loose again. Just pull on your original end. That just helps that to keep there. And then you're going to go back through station 3. Be careful, don't try not to get your needle in the middle of that little wrap, because what happens then is that gets pulled out and you don't want that being pulled out to the outside. Okay. Just be careful, like me, I'm getting myself tangled. Just be careful before you start pulling. See, now I've gone the wrong way. Just check that you've not got things looped through elsewhere, which I have. So before you pull things tight and you can't go back, just double check what you're doing. Okay. So now we've got that one in there. Okay. And then we're going back into station 3 on our second signature. Okay. So we're going to do that one more time. We're going to go out. This time we're on station 2. We've already done station 4 and station 3. We're coming out of station 2 on the second signature. Make sure that's been pulled. Go back in to station 2 on signature 1. Oh, now you see I put my needle through my thread, and you don't want to do that. So I'm pulling my needle back. Just tighten up my end again, and I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to go back into station 2, yeah, making sure that I haven't split that thread. It's really worth taking the time with this to make sure that it all gets done right. So, okay. So again, so I'm going to loop under that long stitch and pull that. Remember, this has got loose because this end is still loose. We'll deal with that later. So I've wrapped the thread around here. Okay. And then I'm going to go back through and out of that station. Okay, make sure you're not got hooked up on anything, that you're pulling in the right way. Give that a pull before you give this loose end here, a pull before you tighten that one. Okay. And then you're going to go back in to signature 2, station 2 of signature 2. I feel like I'm For some reason, there we go. I don't know why that didn't want to go properly. Again, just make sure everything's getting pulled. Now you see I'm getting close to that. I just needed to pull through my needle a bit more. So I've got that. And then we're going to go out of station 1. Okay, now we've still got this end, keep that end. So I'm now at station 1. So I'm going to bring on my 3rd signature. Okay, and I'm going to go in to station 1 of my 3rd signature. Okay, are we there? Did I come out the middle? Yes, good. Okay. So I'm now going in. Coming out of station. All that nice. Okay. Station 2 of signature 3. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, and this is where the curved needle really comes into its own. You're going to bring your needle underneath that stitch. I'm just going to bring it up so you can see I brought the needle underneath that stitch. Okay. You can do it with a straight needle. It's a lot more fiddly. So if you do, if you've bought Janie's Originals needle pack, they usually come with a curved one. It's worth having a curved one. But for a link stitch like this, but also a Coptic stitch. So I'm now going back into station 2 of that signature 3. Okay. So now those are linked. Okay. So that we're linked here. So I'm now going to come out of station 3 of signature 2. Again, make sure it's pulled okay on the inside. And then again, I'm going to go under my stitch. Now I am going under from right to left. So then I will always go under right to left. If you go left to right, then always go left to right. But as long as you're going under that stitch, I'm linking, and then we go back in to that station. And you can see now we're onto this 3rd signature. It's a lot easier. Linking that first 2. So sorry, I've skipped now. So I'll come out the next station along. So station 4. Now my thread's getting very close there. So I'm going to go under. Oh. Sorry, I'm getting myself caught up here. So you're going to put your needle under. And then back in through there. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on the final station here. And under. Okay, but this time, instead of going into this one, we're going to bring in number 4, signature 4, and we're going to go in to station 5 of signature 4. Oops. Okay, so that's there. And then we're coming out. Of number 4. Going just like before, so we go under the previous link stitch, okay? So try not to split the thread, which I think I just did there. Right, so you come out of the station and you link under the previous one. So this time it's between here. Last time when we were doing this signature, we hooked under this one. This time we're hooking under this one. And it really, really is where the curved needle comes into its own. And then back in. And try not to split the thread, because we don't want to. I don't want to split thread basically. So we'll come out there. And then up this one. And goes under there. Back in. Let's pull. Through. And then we come out. Yeah. Okay. And then we link under this one. Oops, a daisy do. Now this time we're going to go into our last signature. So we've come out under there and we're going into this last signature. I've gone right the way through it. Here we go. Okay. So out of this signature. And linking, just get that a nice little pull, linking under this one, under here. Again, remember I've always gone in from the left to the right. I got caught, something's got caught. That's caught on there. Just checking, yeah, that's okay. And then back in. See, I'm finding when I have to hold it up, I'm struggling a little bit. When I've got it on this binding slope, I am able to use pressure to push it down on there, but also it means I haven't got to hold on to it in the air. Okay, so again, coming out of that station, underneath, I'm holding it in the air for you, but if I was just doing this on my own, it would be staying flat. This comes through and then back in to that same station. And to pull that way, and then out here. then we link. It makes almost a bit like a chain stitch, if you like. And you know, and then it's you can then just attach the covers to this or with an end paper. Or you can use it as a, you know, so as an enclosed spine, so you'll I think it's called cased. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. So I've come out then to my last one. I'm going through as before. Now, if I had another signature, I would add it on and then continue, but I don't. This is my last signature, so I'm going back in to that hole there. Okay, and then I'm going to make a knot. You can do a double knot if you want. So I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull the knot. Oh, my thread has now decided to knot itself. And the reason being is I have split the thread. I am not going to worry too much here. I'm going to do, this is the trouble with splitting the thread. I'm just going to, because it's literally the last thing, just going to give it a little snip to see if I can release it. So, because there's a lot of fibers in the thread, I might just be able to, there we go. So all I did is I just nipped a few of the threads on the top. So now I need to pull that back because I need to do the knot, don't I? Yeah, so just be careful. I'm going to unthread my needle because I don't need my needle thread anyway. You see, I had far too much, but I prefer to have more than I need. So I'm going to pull that way. And if you wanted to do another one, you could. I'm not. I'm just going to do the one. Okay. Now, we need to go back to this end here. So I'm going to thread that onto my needle. And this is why you need to leave yourself a reasonable amount. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to link through that stitch, the one just above between signature 2 and 3. And then I'm going to come back in here, which is signature 1, and then I'm going to tie a knot here. Same thing. So I've managed to keep it. Okay. So we now have our link stitch with our binding, and it's one of those that lays flat. You know, it doesn't sort of fold itself over. A bit loose there, but right. So that is the link stitch for binding a text block. I hope that is useful for you. And you know, please, if you have any comments or questions, please do put them in the thing below, in the comments below. I think I've got practice one that I did here. So yeah, we've got our I've now got 2 text blocks. I've got to decide what I want to do with. That one's slightly smaller. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I hope this one's been useful. Yeah, I will be back, hopefully not so long this time, with another stitching tutorial. Thank you.